Good thing about the Honda core for the door panel, actually it's just one screw for the whole door, and it's behind the window switcher. You grab your plastic panel tool carefully. As soon as you pop it out, you have to slide it down a little bit because it has the hook on the front. Unplug the switcher, and it's a regular Phillips screw. You grab your plastic panel tool and start from the bottom. They use the fast ring, like how you see right there. Actually, the plastic on the door panel is crushing the foam. It's not touching the speaker, but still, you see, it's like, you want to remove that. They did the same as the rear. They grabbed the factory screw, they screw it on top of the speaker. For the doors, they use baffles, but they cut it.
Did they have a fast ring for the back?
No.
Well, did they put the other piece of the fast ring in the door?
On the other side, yeah.
So they made a baffle out of the XTC baffle, but the fast ring actually comes with the same piece. Like, yeah. Overkill, didn't need to use, didn't do it right.
And because we're not gonna use the factory wiring, we're just gonna plug it back in, zip tie it, because we're gonna run our wires. So this one has the foam already. We're gonna reuse this. I'm gonna use a different screw because this speaker adapter, the hole, it's really small. What I'm using is a regular M5 with a small head, and it's perfectly fine for that. Run my wires. I'm gonna grab my zip tie. So the next step, grab our tape it up.
The speakers we're going to be using in this are these guys right here. The Virtus Nano 602 Carbons. And these are pretty special speakers. If you guys are unfamiliar with these are referred to as the pancake speakers, super shallow mount, UFOs. But look at that, wow. Look how thin those guys are. Super thin, which is gonna be great for the Honda. One of the problems with putting speakers in a Honda is that you have the bigger magnet structure and it will hit inside the door and you have to cut them out. With this, we're not gonna have that issue. This will just go in there super sexy and flat. These come with a metal grill if you're going to be doing any type of installation that requires a grill. So we have the Virtus tweeter. Grill does come off. And hidden underneath are the crossovers. This crossover here, if you remove this eyeball on this side, has the attenuation for the tweeter. You have 0, -2, and +2 dB. On the end of your amp input here in the center, tweeter mid-range. Positives are located on the outside, negatives are located in the middle. It goes negative, positive here. Make sure you pay attention to that. Too many times people just get in a zombie mode when they're screwing things in where it's like input, tweeter, mid-range, and it's not that, or they get the positive negatives backwards. We also get a bag of goodies. Inside bag is screws. There is an angle mount for the tweeter. There is a flush mount for the tweeter. There's some ends, rubber gaskets for the flush mount, which they're showing you on this little piece of paper here. More screws. The back metal pieces for the flush mount are located here in this bag. There's the all-important owner's manual. Comes with a sticker. This is a cool thing over here. Verify your genuine MOREL products. In light of counterfeit products that have appeared in some markets, MOREL enables you to verify the authenticity of your products. Remove the verification slip from the nylon bag that contains your installation guide. Place it over the verification sticker found on the bottom of each genuine MOREL product. That'd be this guy right here. The word genuine should be visible. Goes through and shows you how to connect it to your amplifier, mount your tweeters in locations, talks about the crossover some, and then on the back gives you all your power ratings and teal small parameters. Let's head over to the door in the car and I'll show you what I'm talking about as far as this going in and mounting into place. This is the part of the door I was talking about, these humps here. And when you have a speaker like this, it has a big magnet. There's paint right here that's been rubbed away from this magnet just sitting on it. Most of the time when we put in speakers like this, we didn't put these in. We cut this out of the way so that you get a nice solid fit. You don't have to worry about anything rubbing on those and causing any problems down the road. With the carbon, As you can see, that will not be a problem at all. They'll simply just go right in and sound spectacular. Got the door panel off, and we can see here we have some butt connectors that went to the tweeter. And if we follow the line over here, we can see more butt connectors that were holding the tweeter. Cool. And speaking of tweeter, here's the tweeter. I'm gonna pull this over to the bench and see what we can come up with for mounting. The way this is made, it's a two-piece. And there's a clip, and this whole piece is removed. They filled this up with foam. Fold up these metal arms here. You can remove the whole grill. My tweeter does fit up in there pretty nice. What I'm thinking I might do is router this hole out just a little bit bigger so that this tweeter will come in here and sit flush into this, and then this back piece will go on and hold everything nice and tight in place. Needs to be like not an eighth, just a little bit bigger. There we go, a couple trips around it with the grinder, and we have a perfect fit. Put my factory grill back in place. Well, if this was factory still, this would be perfect. This would have fit right in with no problems. But because they have already hacked at it and done some bad things, we're gonna have to spend some more time here trying to get this to fit properly in place. Which we kind of figured we'd have to do anyways. It's a matter of taking a look at it and figuring out what we're going to do, hold it where we want it. This piece has to go back on because this is what holds the tweeter in place. This is what I'm gonna run with, is I'm gonna make a circle that's a 1/4 inch thick. That is the diameter of the tweeter. I'm gonna cut some more of this out here, and then I'll glue all those together so that when this piece goes on, it should line up and hold the tweeter right in place up against this factory housing. I can put these 3 screws back in, and that will sandwich everything nice and tight together. So back at the laser, this is what I came up with here. Trim ring has the spot here for the wiring. It's 1/4 inch thick. Slides over my tweeter. This is the bracket. I had to do a little bit of trimming on the side here, and it snaps back into place. I also went in and leveled off all the screws. From the factory, these aren't screws. These are actually plastic weld point, snaps together, and you have to grind these off, and they use some really big-headed screws to put those on. We're gonna switch those out to a smaller head. So here's tweeters all snapped in place. We didn't have to do too much modification, and we have a nice solid mount. I'll get this over to Fernando so he can get it into the car.
So I cut 1/2 inch of the fast ring from the back so it's not gonna touch the window. I have my tweeter installed, my speaker installed. I got the fast ring, and I'm not gonna cut the fast ring, and the reason why is because the fast ring is not the problem. The door panel plastic, it's what is pushing the fast ring and crushes it. What we're going to do is cut it, and it's gonna sit right on the edge, and it's gonna be fine. And before you clip the whole door back in, grab your flashlight and just look around. And we're done.